National Park can be a rewarding and magical experience. It has so much to offer: the wildlife, the geysers, just being out in the west and seeing things that you've probably never seen before. We are going to talk about designing a vacation to America's first national park that works for you and your family. The first thing we need to discuss is the budget. It can get expensive because it is a very remote area, so we need to talk about getting there. We need to talk about your lodging, your food, and your activities, and how to plan your expenses. The first thing we're going to talk about, though, is the lodging. It is the first thing you should do. It is the most important thing to do. The hotels book up a year in advance, so the lodging needs to be taken care of first. You need to decide whether you want to stay inside or outside of the park. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. One of the advantages to staying inside the park is you wake up, you're inside the park. You don't have to drive in every day. A disadvantage to staying inside the park is there is no TV, there is no internet, there is limited cell phone service. There is no microwave or refrigerator. It is very primitive. So if that's things that you can't live without, then you need to stay outside the park. But the inside and outside the park, you can do camping, cabins, lodges. Outside the park is resorts, and also the cabins. And camping starts, as far as the cost goes, primitive camping about $15 a night. The resorts are well over $1,000 a night. So you need to look at your budget again and see what type of things, how much you want to spend on that. A tip is that you can book a room in different areas of the park. The park is big. According to History.com, May 2017, Yellowstone is as large as Rhode Island and Delaware combined. So it takes about 2.5 hours to drive from the north part of the park to the south part of the park. So lodging in different areas of the park allows you to experience the park in different types of settings, which is really neat. You need to plan how to get there. The next thing is, how much is that going to cost? Well, you can take a road trip, you can drive across country, you can fly into Bozeman or to one of the other cities nearby, and you need a car rental for sure to get around the park. Another option is you can fly to a city that you would like to visit and take a road trip that way, which is also pretty amazing. You might see some things that you didn't expect to see. Food options. They have, inside the park, there are restaurants, grills, cafeterias, snack bars. They have a general store with groceries and all of that sort of stuff. Again, that stuff is expensive inside the park. What we like to do is go shopping before you go into the park and picnic, and do a combination of picnics and restaurants. If you're going to eat at any of the fine dining restaurants in Yellowstone, they do require reservations. So just something to keep in mind. You can't just show up and eat there. Next, what should I bring? Well, all of these pictures on my slides they were taken the end of September of this year, and you can see that it's snowing. Has very extreme weather there. It can be 95 during the day and below freezing at night in the middle of August. It can snow any day of the year there. So you need to bring clothing that you can layer and be prepared for anything. Bring whatever you need for whatever activities you might want to do, swimsuits, backpacks for hiking, etc. Just things that you can layer. Important is you need to bring some comfortable shoes. According to National Park Traveler, May 2011, there are over 14 miles of boardwalk in Yellowstone, and you're going to want to walk on all of it because it is awesome, and you're going to see all sorts of amazing things. So you do need your comfortable shoes. You're going to want bear spray, and that leads us into the next thing. Bear spray is important. Even if you just plan on staying on the boardwalks, you still need bear spray. It's very important. for your safety. You don't go anywhere without it. Also for safety, you can visit the National Park Service's safety page and get some other ideas. You need to have water. You need to always have backcountry permits if you're going to go hiking, and let people know where you're going to be. This is a wild world here, and there are things here that can kill you, so be prepared. You are responsible for your own safety inside the park. Next, some adventures that you can take while you're in the park. There's lots of free things to do. Obviously, you can visit Old Faithful, go to the geyser basins, the Grand Canyon. There's hikes and so many things to do that you couldn't possibly do them all. There's also tours that you could pay for there again. If it's in your budget, you might want to go on the guided tours or go horseback riding or on the Yellowstone River. You could go every day of the year and not do the same thing twice. It's an amazing place. The sky's the limit. Plan your adventure today. Make sure that you have everything you need, and there again, Yellowstone is a wonderful and magical place, and everyone should visit at some point.